Peace and love. What's up, people? What's going on? Kachi Ra coming at you with another video. So, today, lunar manifestation. But outside it's a rainy, cloudy day for me. But yesterday, I took notice of how beautiful the sky was already. So, I'm not so terribly upset because yesterday I had a nice picture of a nice moon with a halo, and it looked like a rainbow to me. I was staring at it, and it looked like a beautiful rainbow ring. And I was thinking to myself, if I wanted to be one of those global earthers, which in reality, Earth can be whatever shape it wants to be inside your mind. We really don't know the true shape of the Earth before you answer that. I'm not talking about the flat Earth or firmament and all that stuff, because we're going to talk about that exactly right now. So, as far as the shape, size of the Earth, it can be flat or round, but it's the mind that perceives everything, and how you look outside of your mind is how you perceive things. It's funny little, and I'm gonna make a video to break that down. I need pictures to make it a little bit better, but it's gonna make sense when I show you the pictures. But I was gonna show you how your soul is the sun, because the sun is the actual. Let me lift this up. I was like, why am I leaning over? I can lift this thing up. Alright, so basically the soul is the sun. The cube is the cob. Your pineal gland is like fire. So when you see the sun and you see all the mediators go around it, mediators are the, you can call those spirits, angels, demons, jinns. You can call those anything you want. But they circle around your mind, which is the sun, because you are the sun. And they go around your mind because it's in you. It's in you already, deep down inside. It's your incarnation that brings that stuff out. So when you see the sun, when you look at the sun, you're looking at a reflection of the male aspect, which is the skin. You see that, you see the sun, the body, basically. Well, let me. I jumped ahead of myself. When you see the sun up above, that's a reflection of your pineal gland, and that's reflection of your soul, and traveling along with all, and if you're into the flat Earth, the sun travels around a circle. Now, if you're into the whole heliocentricism, then everything goes around the sun. So I try to explain this in a way where, first, how it is with the sun going around your mind. Now, if the sun was going around the flat Earth, then that would mean that you are the sun. Now, I can go ahead because I skipped. So that means you are the sun. Your flesh is the sun, represents the sun, right? Going around the womb. So you're going around the earth, which is what? The earth is representation of the womb or the belly. But in this case, since you're doing talking about the flat Earth, the Earth, the flat Earth is going to be the matrix system. The flat Earth is the matrix system, and the sun represents you because you're the light, right? And light needs to go up to escape. You know how people say when you die, you go up to escape? Well, all right, excuse me. Well, for light to escape, it has to go up, and then it goes back down. That's because, how the Bible says, Satan says, he goes up and down to and fro from earth and heaven. Well, if you're using the flat earth model, the whole tree model, the tree with the earth, and up above here is the stars and stuff. If you go up, you come back down because you don't have the right vibrational field to traverse into the other aspects. So this is why you get the Van Allen belt or the firmament. So I'm trying to explain both in the same aspect, where you have the Van Allen belt on the flat earth model, which is the firmament, but nothing can travel through it unless it's light vibrating at a certain type of frequency, which is you crystallizing and changing into something different to get out of the whole matrix system, which will be the whole firmament or flat earth thing. Now the same thing dealing with the round earth, where you're still stuck, which the sun represents your mind, represents the mind, but the earth have this like Van Allen belt. So the earth being the heart chakra, it's the same deal. The heart chakra keeps you from vibrating at a certain type of frequency to escape the overall reincarnation or the Saturn matrix system. So the sun still represents you. It just differently in the heliocentric model. It represents your mind. In the flat Earth model, it will represent you running around in circles around this whole matrix system. But overall, the Van Allen belt is just that thing that keeps you from escaping, because you need to rock at a certain type of frequency. And like I said, that will be your heart. The earth is the heart chakra. Is the on the Kabbalah tree will be the very first. Not the first. I talk about the very bottom, which would be number 10. It'd be the Kether, and that's the land where you start from. That's the root of starting your journey from the very bottom, working your way to the top. But you gotta be at a certain frequency to vibrate, to go up. So your heart has to be right, basically. Your heart has to be right. Yes. You got to rock at the right frequency for your heart to open those portal doors up. So, you can use both earth and flat model to describe this metaphysically. But on a physical level, it could be whatever you want it to be. But know this, no one never walked outside of the earth. No one went to no moon. We're not going to no Mars. You're not probing Uranus. We're not doing none of that. Okay? Because any picture from NASA, when you go up to the sky in the dark, you don't see anything. There's no stars. There's no thousand of satellites. I don't see them. Now, there are little satellites that we do fly in the sky, but it's not like how they show it on diagrams, where you'll see, like they say, there's thousands of satellites floating around Earth. So, It's nothing like that. So yeah, we got to get out of that whole mindset of making everything outside of us, because the whole thing it really is deeply metaphysical, or deeply within us. It's all that's within us. All right, so uh, yeah. So another thing I was gonna talk about. Um, so here's another thing I was gonna talk about. Dividing the flesh from the spirit, not falling in love with this whole human flesh that keeps you locked down in the matrix. So you guys to really hate when the Bible said hate the world, uh, you know, get away from your family, all that stuff. Jesus was saying you gotta hate your family, and people would say, "Oh, Jesus said hate your family." And they use that for a lot of reasons, just to get people in a stir. But you really have to break that down and say, hey, that really means the flesh. You just hate everything in this world because it really don't give you anything in the end. In the end, you're trying to get rid of all this. You're trying to get rid of your humanity. Forget about humanity, because you're not a human. You're more than a human. You got to get out of humanity thinking. Okay? When you're still in your human thinking, you're still locked down. So you got to get out of that whole human thinking. Human thinking keeps you from exploring outside of yourself even further. So when you see someone like, I'm gonna talk about my girl Liv. Talk about, good gracious, I can't talk. I want to talk about my girl Lilith. All right, so the mother Lilith. Word up. By the way, that means, damn, I meant to tell you what that meant. I gotta look it back up. My mind slipped. But basically, just like Lilith, just like the Titans, a lot of people. A lot of our old mythologies, it was rebelling against the chaos was in the very beginning. Then it was death, destruction. Then it was light. And then how the Bible writes this is human flesh is meant to be that light. But it's backwards. Human flesh is actually a way to take that light. Because this flesh still stole, because our soul is the light. This flesh is the vehicles that steals the light, because this flesh is the opposite of what our soul really wants. That's why there's a battle between the flesh and the soul, how the Bible speaks of it. So Lilith did not submit to Adam. Now Adam was mad, then he got Eve, which submitted. This represents the soul not wanting to be in this carnal flesh because it's weak in its flesh. I remember having a vision or dream way when I was a little kid about this, way before I knew any of this stuff, about a whole bunch of different smaller. I was a part of the number of souls in the whatever realm, and we saw this bigger oversoul talking about, oh, y'all gonna have to go into these flesh bodies, and we all was like, no, we can't do that, no, no, that's weakness, that's a prison. And this is a dream, actual dream I had when I was a little kid. I remember way before I started reading all these books. So yeah, there was a rebellion. There was a rebellion about going into the flesh. And that's where you get all this stuff from. Rebel, a lot of fighting and rebellion, because the false god put the light into these flesh bodies. That's why you get so many. That's why you got the whole Lucifer and all of them not bowing down to Adam, because Lucifer was like, "Hey, why am I going to bow down to this flesh that is not don't have no power? The power is the soul." And this Yaldabaoth was putting, or this false god was putting the souls in the bodies. And that's why Satan is the light bringer. He was bringing back the light to these bodies, which is darkness, which is a way to get out. Because once you find your light within this body of darkness, you can get out. That's what Lilith represents. That's why she made children of darkness. Melanin. Come on, baby. Melanin. Yes. So she made melanin in aspects of, she brought that knowledge back to the children. That she brought that knowledge back, because our memory, we get wiped coming into these bodies. So she brought that back. That's why she get demonized, just like so many other primordial mothers get demonized, like Kali, Haket, Setmet, Demeter, all these women, goddess women with the snakes, because the snake represents the husband, or in Hebrew, the snake will represent the woman, because Moses' staff will be the woman, Hermes' staff will be the woman, Merlin's staff will be the woman. So if there's a male figure, the staff and the snake will represent the woman. So, but if there's a woman and the snake will represent the male aspect, part of the woman, of the feminine. So there's some type of balance, but really there's nothing but the feminine. The male comes from the woman, because even in your Kabbalah up above, Ayin Sof, that's all the woman, the nothingness, the nothing, the quietness, the nothing where there's no presence of time. It's just you in the womb. Kind of like meditation. When you're in a good meditation state, there's really no presence of time. You can just sit there and just think. I was thinking about this last night while I was asleep. I was thinking in my sleep. You can do that. I guess people call it lucid dreaming and whatnot. I don't know. Just thinking, like the quietness of time and space, in the separation of time, and you're just in the nothingness by yourself, and you can really meditate and understand about yourself, and it's a beautiful thing. Yep. But get rid of this flesh, get it out of the whole human mindset, and forget about the whole flesh aspect, and then everything will come to you. But if you go backwards, think about the flesh first and the spirit, everything is going to basically, you make it harder. Well, it could be easier, but you're forgetting who you are. But those who are truthfully in the whole spirit, who are the children of the mother, not the father, because you don't come from a man's ass. You come from a mother's womb. You don't come from a man's side. You're not his sidekick, woman. Yeah, Eve is his sidekick. She came from his side. You know how you treat a sidekick? You look at Batman, how he treat his sidekick. You got many sidekicks, or women, I should say. That's how you get treated when you're a sidekick, or a side chick, I should say. You get treated as such. You be the head, not the tail or the side. You're right in front of us. Matter of fact, you're the mother that birthed us. Even the agnostics, Adam noticed and said and stated that Eve was the mother and the wife of the kids. And he learned wisdom from her. In the Gnostics of Adam, he said that about Eve. You don't get that in the Bible. Oh no. So, basically remember, I just want to go over two things in this video. And I'm just going to do a little quick wrap up. So, whatever you perceive in your mind is what you see out. And even if you're a flat earther or a round earther, it still is a metaphysical thing about yourself. About your heart chakra needs to vibrate on the right frequency to level yourself up. And then you can get out of this whole matrix system thinking that you're a human and you're not. And that goes with both aspects of that. And then with the whole not falling in love with the flesh still is the same thing with what I'm saying with the whole vibration thing with Lilith being not falling, not bound down to the flesh, not bound down to the man that says everything is carnal, not the carnal man, because the flesh is the male aspect, the woman is the spiritual aspect. And she did not bow down to that. That's how you need to be too, just like Lilith. So, all right. Bam. So yeah, that's my video. And I'm going to end it right here. All right, thank you. Like, share, and subscribe. And I do hope you will check out more of my videos. And I do have more coming soon. Peace and love.